The promised land, Davo. We found Beer World. I'm going to attempt to revisit. I think it's my number one, well, kind of one of my very top videos of all time, titled The 13 Deadly Signs Your Thai Girlfriend is a Scammer. I don't do nearly as much negative content anymore, but I'm also realizing it is something I need to keep it in, continue to mix that in as a portion of my content. Because I get 2/3 of every video is viewed by people that are new to the channel. And so I need to keep some of the warning content. Even though it's a great place, you can have a great time. Does seem like the majority of guys crash and burn to some degree. It is difficult here. It's really easy once you get your sea legs and you get everything settled. And now I've got handful of really cool guys that are great friends. I've got my relationship sorted well with Fauna and her family. You have to make a relationship with your Thai girlfriend or wife or whatever and their family. That's critical. Whatever that relationship is, but you've got to assess what that is and make sure you're operating within some type of parameters that's going to work in harmony with your long-term goals. In that video, I never get through all 13. It's a 3-video series. It didn't. It's a little embarrassing and hard for me to watch. I'll put it that way. How's that? And then I'll do my personal update at the end. Otherwise, I'm just going to lose focus. I'm not going to be able to do this. This is a ton of stuff to get through in one video. Okay, so the first one, and I've seen this. I just lived this with a good friend of mine. He brought this lady up to meet me and Fawn, and he was all excited about her. And this is a very smart guy. So we were like, hey, he's finally getting serious about settling down and picking the right lady and all that. He's picked this lady here. And so Fawn and I come up with a plan to help him. And anyway, she brings this lady up and for me and Fawn to give the stamp of approval to. And he was initially pretty confident that she'd get that. And as the date went on, within a few hours, it became apparent to him that was not happening. And not so much that we were giving him that much negative feedback. It was the way she interacted with us was poor. And the first thing she did wrong, first thing on the list, hence why I thought of it, was the shopping. We went to pick him up a couple of nice shirts. We went to this really nice place at Terminal 21 in Kolat, big mall. And she immediately wanted whatever he was getting. She wanted the matching, at least as expensive thing for herself. And then she secretly, went to Fawn and just telling Fawn, let's get some stuff out of this. Let's get as much as we can and all that. And Fawn was like, I'm not doing that. And of course, Fawn, one of the nice things about her, she tells me absolutely everything. I mean, almost to a fault. I have to watch myself to not push back to say I don't need to hear all that, because I do want to know what's going on when I live in a totally foreign culture that's not built for me, unlike the USA, which is supposed to be built for me. Anyway, so the initial shopping, she was immediately on about the money. And this is the most common first bad sign that I see. I've been there on dates with ladies. First, hey, let's go meet. Hey, let's don't pick me up here or there at my place, whatever. Meet me at the mall, and we'll just do some shopping. Yeah. Well, the first couple times you fall for that, and then it's like, yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm busy. I'll get back to you next week. And that's the better response. So the initial shopping. Now, again, everything in my channel is based on, I live in the Isan region, which I recommend if you like the same things I do. If you don't, I would not recommend it. What I was looking for and what I found is the traditional good Thai Isan woman. For me, for an older guy, current health problems, I can easily see more coming down the road. I need care. I will need more care. The Isan culture, the women are extremely caring. And that can be a problem. That can be twisted into becoming a sex worker. And I've had a sex worker I've had a couple, but one that actually was kind of good-hearted in a way. I don't want to go down that road, but she said something really odd to me one time. She goes, "Oh, if we were together, I could take such good care of you." I mean, it really flowed out of her very organically. I felt at that moment there was a lot of truth coming out, sort of. accidentally on her part. And this care thing is a big thing. And I've had women that were tied to another man that saw me as a better candidate for them long term, needing to care for me. We'd be at dinner, and it's a big cultural thing. They'll get your ice service for your glass, and when you're drinking, having a beer or something, and all of a sudden she needed to do that for me and not fawn. All that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, so my channel is all about that. And so, while everything I say here will apply at least 50% everywhere in Thailand, it applies 100% if you're village, and particularly if you're Isan village. If you go Thai South, very different culture. Some of the other cultures, shades of gray. You'll have to sort that out based on what I tell you and what you're seeing for yourself, and talk to your Thai friends. Definitely make at least one Thai friend here. Yeah, if you're swimming in the ocean, maybe have one friend that can swim. Just a thought. Okay, next thing you're going to notice, and again, this is an order of how you might see them, colored hair or colored done nails, and then, of course, tattoos. And you can ask any Thai person, particular tattoos, the women will pass off, oh, the monks at the temple did this or that, and they'll have some rational, nice, face-saving explanation for how and why they have all these tattoos. I don't have any tattoos. I've often thought about it. I've just always kind of chickened out, and that's fine. I got no problem with tattoos. But if someone's claiming to be traditional Thai culture, traditional village culture, tattoos on women are rare. And where they're common is sex workers. And just throwing that out there, if someone's got tattoos, hey, maybe it is just some cultural thing. It's from their dad, reminds them of their dad's military service or something. Generally, a lot of the tattoos that women say are this or that nice goody thing turn out to be tattoos from various bars and sex services, and they like to tattoo their girls, kind of like a cattle brand. So just throwing that out there. Tattoos are a red flag. I'm not saying everyone that has one is bad. It's just a red flag. Thai women, traditional Thai women, don't color or do their nails. Their nails are kind of boring. They might have clear on there. Generally, they don't. The nails are just short and neat, trimmed and clean. Thais are very clean people. Their grooming standard here is much higher than what we have in the West. And that's a whole other thing you should pick up for yourself if you're dating. Just another hint. And then the colored hair. They typically don't do that. They can. A woman could have colored hair. No problem. If she's got colored hair, fancy done, fire red nails that are long and sharp, and tattoos all over her, the odds of her being a traditional good Thai or Thai Isan woman drop into very close to zero. Yeah, watch some of the Thai soap operas and look at some of the Korean K-pop music stars. They all have the same look, and I'm talking about Thai people, but those groups all have the nose done shorter and a little narrower. They all have their face all done like a little rosebud, like a little Russian doll or something. They all have their cheeks exactly perfect, and that's all been done. And that's fine if you like the look, but they're going to want to charge you, so to speak, on an ongoing basis for as long as you're with them or married to them, a high premium because they're beautiful. And beauty is highly, highly praised here. If you go to the nicer stores, clinics, banks, facilities, government offices, the people up front are all handsome and the women are all gorgeous. I mean, not all, but almost all. It looks, and lookism, you can look that word up, are huge here. And you will be expected to pay a huge premium if you need to have a lady like that. You can see how I'm talking. That isn't a big fun. No, fun. By here, she's not super considered super pretty, believe it or not. But for me, I show my guys back home photos of us. They see photos of us on social media together. They're like, "Geez, Rob, she's gorgeous," and she is, for me. So just watch that. That's just a red flag. Why is that woman that looks that good? Why is she interested in a foreign man? Because 98% of Thai women, I'm telling you, prefer a Thai man. So why is she looking for a foreign guy? What would be the one thing maybe you have that the Thai man possibly doesn't, right? Money. And you have to be careful with that. Money will be part of your relationship, but it shouldn't be all of it. I'm telling you, don't make it all. Yet I've never seen that work. They have to be saving face to being seen with you in some other way. Hence how I've cleaned myself up. Not that I looked like a bag of dog food. Look at my old videos. I mean, I looked as rough as anybody. Look at my intro and freeze frame it a couple times. There's photos of me in there when I was fat and after the surgery. Look how haggard I looked. I looked like a death camp survivor or something. If I go around like that here, that's a rough one for dating. Keep moving, Rob. Overly flowery text. The text will look composed and like they're from a project of some kind, because they are. And they're going to look a little forced because they were. They were taught to do this. Scammers are taught to how to do text and how to do text communication, and it'll be regular, systematized. Sometimes same time every. Hey, look, right about between 10 and 11 every morning, I get a text from her, and it's super flowery and fancy with 15 emojis and a big photo of a drawing or a painting of a beautiful Asian woman in the prayer Y gesture, being humble and great, and those fancy things like that. And they're only one or two a day like that. That's classic red flag for a scammer. A real Thai woman, it's very hard. If they want a foreigner and they're ineligible to date a Thai man, look at my videos on that, or just buy my book. It's $10, and all of the proceeds go to support my son with autism, who's living independently, and I'm proud as hell of him. I don't make a penny on that. I didn't want to be selling or recommending anything that helped people that I made even a nickel off of, because I just think it just makes you look shallow. So all that goes to my son. And I give him money anyway, so it isn't like I'm saving anything, okay? But then the next thing is the tension level will be off. So yeah, a good Thai woman, when they finally are ineligible to date a Thai man, they will just now they're looking for a foreign man because you're the next option. We're the only option. I'm just being realistic. I'm realistic about this with myself, and so should you be. Then they're all over it because we're very hard to find. They're ineligible to date a Thai man. So they're impossible to find. We're just difficult. And so when they find one of us, they'll be all over. You'll be getting a text every 2 hours. A scammer can't do that. They're busy. They got 5 other clients. I mean, scam victims. And they can't do that, generally speaking. I mean, some will. I've seen it, but that's less common. It'll just feel, your gut will be telling you, this feels weird. It just doesn't feel right. Listen to your gut when you're traveling overseas, and if you're trying to make a relationship, and a marriage will ultimately be financial in some way. That could be a whole other video. But the attention level will feel off. The next thing, number 7, right? We're up to number 7 because that was 6. As attention level's off. 7 is they're comfy around foreign people, foreign men. They're not awkward or fearful in any way. And if you take them to like a Falang bar, a foreign bar, or an expat bar, or a restaurant, they're completely at home and comfortable. Fun. It was almost 2 years I've known her before she's calmed down and was okay in some expat restaurants and bars, and only during the daytime. And I'm not a night owl, as all regular viewers know. I like to be home by 8 to 10 p.m. 10 p.m. is late for me. I need my sleep every day because I'm training. I'm trying to recover. But if they're comfortable in a bar, man, that's a really bad sign. Because how would a good, innocent, legit Thai, Isan Thai village young lady, how did she get comfortable in a... They're afraid of us, by the way. Our big, boomy, deep, aggressive voices, our big body language, our large selves, they're afraid of us. So it takes them a while to get used to us. How did she do that? There's only one usual way they do that, and it's not good. 8, always trying to convince you of something, that selling feeling you're going to get. They're always, oh yeah, we do it that way, but that's just our culture, and you have to pay for all my friends because that's our culture. There's always something they're convincing you of, and that generally revolves around money. You'll just see that all the time, and that's so that's always trying to convince you is number 8, and then just constantly selling is number 9. That's almost 1 point. Sorry, guys. And then number 10 is money mentioned often. A good Thai woman will not mention money at all for at least 6 months. If they're on money with even 3 months, red flag. If they're on money hot and heavy at 6, also still a red flag. And these are just red flags, but your lady's got 3, 4, 5 of these, man, you got to really start pulling back. 11, repetition of phrases. Scammers are taught, there's actual brick and mortar real schools they physically go to, by the way, to learn this. I think that's less common as far as I can tell. I just interviewed a woman that went through one, and it was fascinating and horrifying. But they learn sex and whatever, but you can't learn online. They got to go to the school. But the scamming is often mostly taught through TikTok. And there's been some Facebook people that do it too, and it's really kind of ugly. I've watched it. I've had Fawn help me translate what I couldn't understand, and and it's super ugly. What to hear them talk about us, those are some bad people. But they're taught, and they'll repeat these. Then they're taught to say this to get money out of you, and you hear these phrases a lot because they're going back to their schooling. So if you're hearing repetition phrases based on getting money, man, that's like that's all. That's if that's the red flag you got, then you're done. That red flag is so big, you got to get out. My advice. And that's 11. Number 12. Feels like you're being managed. Yeah, we're valuable and they'll pay a lot of attention to us, but you shouldn't feel managed and segregated. They will constantly want to keep you separate from everybody else to the point where they will be, and this is a good add-on for number 12, is that you will feel like you're being guarded, this guarding behavior, and they will be just terrified of any foreigners that can speak Thai. I met a guy once, and at this time my Thai was good enough to be unusual, and the guy's girlfriend just looked at me like she just saw a hungry tiger. She was terrified. I was unable to convince him that she wasn't a good, innocent village girl, even though she was wearing a mirrored miniskirt and giving him PDA in public. And and she was a solid 8.5, even by Thai standards. And he, it just, people just want to believe what they want to believe, and that's fine. He was an adult, and he made his decision. But yeah, you have to watch you're being managed and being guarded, and they're terrified of you making a Thai friend or an expat friend that can speak Thai. They will all of a sudden start saying, that guy's a bad guy, I know him, he's a terrorist, or he's a bank robber. They'll come up with something to keep you away. Number 13, here we go. Actions, comfort level in a bar. Oh yeah, it's the whole thing of their actions. This is the last thing you'll know is sort of the gestalt of the whole thing, right? It will be the totality of their actions, their comfort level in a bar. If they play snooker and clear up the table, and this example is in my book, 99.9% they're a sex worker from a bar, because snooker is, I think it's not technically illegal, but it's really frowned upon in good Thai culture, and absolutely for women should not be doing that. If they do, that's fine. I don't care, but I'm just saying by Thai culture, that's a biggie. Smoking. Smoking is frowned upon. Women are not supposed to smoke. Women are not supposed to drink alcohol here. If she drinks until she's drunk. I've not known a woman that drinks no, I know one. I know one woman who's actually a good Thai Isan woman. She drinks till she's drunk. I know one. Out of the 100 that I know, there's one. So 99% odds, especially frequently. Their language skills don't match their story. Their English is quite good, but they just say they learned it on their own from their mama. That's a red flag because statistically they learned it working in Pattaya. So, or one of the sex zones in sex districts of Koh Samui, Koh Samui is the island, or Phuket or something. Expensive. They don't work, but have expensive clothes and the newest iPhone. That's a classic one. They love iPhones here. If they've got an iPhone and they don't have a job, that's two red flags. That's an automatic 2 red flags. I need to have like a gift center on my channel, have like the little Reset with Rob red flag collector, and you can like take the red flags and move them over to like a chia pet of your Thai girlfriend. Wouldn't that be? I made a joke like that with Kevin when he's dating. He's actually picked a very nice lady, and Fawn and I have a double date with them coming up soon, which everyone's happy about, including me, because I think it's in Kevin's best interest because he's in his early 60s, and at some point it's better to have someone that gives a rodent signed end about you. And then just watch the plastic surgery. Yeah, it's huge here. The beauty standard is high, and gee whiz, every 7-Eleven worker practically has had a nose job or something. But if it goes too far, if it's been a ton of it, if your last one, this is a freebie, this is like the bonus one. If you're dating and you've been around a while, and then they start asking about money and this and that, all these red flags, and then they want to use your money to pay for plastic surgery for themselves, that's like a 10 red flag gift set, because that's about is they want to spiff themselves up with a nice handbag from you, more plastic surgery, and they want to buy sexy clothes. Fawn refuses to wear anything other than totally modest clothes. I bought her a brown corduroy, what do you call those things, like a farmer would wear, an overall thing, but it's got short shorts, not short shorts, like mid-thigh shorts, which is short by traditional Thai standards, and she's never worn it. It looks so cute on her in the dressing room, but she just won't wear it. And so if your woman wants to buy sexy clothes, plastic surgery, and an expensive handbag, she's dressing herself up for the next guy. And I can't tell you, and you're, oh, Rob, that's not true. I can't tell you, almost every week I go to a nice restaurant somewhere and there might be a foreign guy over in the corner, or I've been past, and it was to the point where Kevin and Fawn were walking behind me and they were laughing hysterically after they let the guy pass. They didn't embarrass him. This foreign guy with his wife who had way too much plastic surgery. I don't like that look. I like a natural look like Fawn. And you want to see my taste, it's Fawn. Fawn for me is like she's just very pretty. If she was any younger or prettier, I'd be probably uncomfortable. And anyways, this lady passed me. She was pinging me like a traffic light malfunctioning, batting her eyes at me like nuts and shaking her head, wobbling her head and everything. And she was walking like half a step or a quarter step behind her kind of foreign husband who had not cleaned himself up at all. And she was looking to upgrade. And I'm telling you, that I get that almost every week. Follow along and sing along with me, people. That is not uncommon. So if your wife or girlfriend is not saving face by some means other than money, then your relationship is about money. And you need to know, and that's fine. And now you're doing pay for play, which is up to you. But you should know you're doing pay for play. The worst thing and the most common thing I see here is guys doing pay for play, and they have no idea. They're telling, oh, Rob, she loves me. Oh, I met her mom, and her mom speaks good English too, and she's really pretty for her age. And then the mom's had a ton of plastic surgery. She's probably a retired sex worker. And you can see these stories like write themselves. These poor guys have no idea. Or I get their wife hitting on me as soon as they go to the bathroom. Or I had one, she was hitting on me in front of the guy. And she's literally, there's a special thing they do. I'll try and show you. They'll take your forearm, hook their forearm inside yours like a Victorian era couple, but they're standing usually like kind of more in front or to the side of you, but not like walking side by side. And then they'll take their other hand and they'll twist your arm, kind of open your arm. They take their fingers and they stroke the soft, the tender skin inside your forearm. It never gets any sun, so it never toughens. It's just real tender in there, and it's a sensual thing. And they'll do that. She's doing that right in front of her husband. How much regard do you think she gives him? We see her and him from time to time. Poor son of a gun. And Fawn hates this lady. I mean, Fawn rarely will say anything bad about anybody. She hasn't directly spoken out loud bad, but she strongly infers that she greatly dislikes this woman, and I understand. And we've bumped into them a couple times with the lady by herself a couple times, and every time she hits on me. She's just extremely disrespectful. At some point, I need to probably just say something that might be a hair rude to her, but I just need to just listen, lady, just stuff it, you know. I got to come up with something. I should. I've probably been a little tardy, and I just hate to push back like that. If it was a guy, I'd say, hey, you know, leote, up to you, or give him a kenyine, that's enough. And that you say that to end a phone call, and it's polite. You say it in person, it's a soft fu. Perfect. But she's not a dude, and I don't like to challenge women. You know, what do you do? Okay, this video is already too long, but I want to get this a second bonus point or whatever in here because it's so important, and that is you have to be, here in Thailand, dating and marrying and all that, you have to be extremely mindful and watchful of any other guy that's consistently hanging around your girlfriend or wife or whatever. Doesn't matter. Typically, and this is all outlined in other videos and in my book and such, but just quickly here, typically this guy will be introduced to you very early on to kind of test your acceptance. And this is a serious point. Please take it seriously. This is not uncommon at all. This is going to sound like it's some rare oddball case. It's not. I've had several friends fall to this. It's not, and it's devastating, and that is the real husband thing. Your girlfriend or even wife, even if you register your marriage, they can be married to a Thai man, a cultural marriage, obviously, because they can't register two marriages at once here, the whole time. And that man will be hanging around, and he'll be introduced as the ex-husband, but she's got a great relationship with her ex-husband. Man, that is not a thing here. Typically, when they separate, it's scorched earth. It's pretty much the same as back home, maybe even worse here. So this idea that, oh, we're Thai and it's our way and we're all friendly, not true. I mean, it can be, but overwhelmingly not true. and or the guy will be introduced as a brother, older or younger, doesn't matter, favorite uncle, next door neighbor that she's really close with, whatever. Don't accept any of that. A good traditional Thai lady won't do any of those things, won't put that pressure on you, won't put that doubt and put you in that awkward situation. Just be very, very mindful, and that's your last point. I thought I'd just give you guys, this is what Fawn's facility looks like as it sort of wakes up in the morning. This is people arriving to work, coming and going, checking in. They're just in the background. I hope I'm not making anybody uncomfortable, not the goal. So I'm going to do my gym day with my little Jay Cutler shaker cup and have a wonderful morning. And kind of craving a plate of spaghetti over at Bonkers Cafe. It's odd that they have the best spaghetti in town, but they do, and it's man spaghetti. It's loaded with ground pork that's seasoned absolutely to perfection. It's so good. The house construction has started. We've broken ground, and I'll add the bonus footage, but dang it, this will be a half-hour video easily, so apologize for that. I'm feeling and doing a lot better. It's been just over 3 years for me for my journey here in Thailand and a year back home prepping. You're prepping initially for a movie Thai trip if you're a newer viewer, and then during that prep, my marriage, my spine, and my career, my business all fell apart at the same time. And if my son's pet turtle had died, praise God he didn't, because we love that little dude. We could have written a country western song about the whole damn thing. And even the people that were supposed to help me come here, an expat and his wife, all of a sudden started like, well, Rob, you can pay for this for us, right? You can pay for that for us, right? Because we're helping you. And I was like, no. So that friendship ended. And then it was like, one of my best friends at the time goes, well, Rob, you can't go to Thailand now. You don't have anybody helping you. I said, you know what? I'm going. What the hell, you know? And I just said, yeah, I don't know, but I'm just going to go. It was god awful. It was one of those times in your life where you feel like God's really testing you. Nah, you can do this. I'm like, really? I don't know. I don't feel like I can do it, but I did it, I guess. But I made a ton of mistakes and was rough physically and mentally. I was overloaded with trying to learn maybe the second hardest language in the world after Mandarin. And I was overloaded emotionally. And then I lost, I don't know, 2/3 of my friends, maybe 3/4. And here I am. And now I laugh about it. And now I'm freaking King Kong here. I mean, I love it. And there's some real good stuff coming. Wait till you see me in a couple more months. Anybody, then I have haters, and I have at least 2 stalkers. And I'm not kidding. I have 2 stalkers. They're really not going to like what I got planned for myself in the next 90 days or so. Holy moly. I got some really good stuff coming, and I'm loving it, and I am on the absolute recovery. You know, like when one of those high-powered jet planes, like a military jet, takes off, and they kind of get to a certain point, and they can kind of pivot, and they shoot. I'm on that. I'm doing this now. I'm going to give you plenty to hate now. And one of my upcoming videos is going to be on haters, because I actually have a lot of experience with that. Because I went through the pits of hell one time before when I was 30, and then I developed a new technology, got about 10 patents on it, but I got my first haters. Still have some of those people. Anyway, so catch you later. It's like we were just talking, like, a lot of times, like, the very best things, like when you first hear the idea, it's like, oh, that sucks, that's stupid, why would you do? And then you think about it, and it's like, hey, wait a minute. You know, I mean, maybe retiring in Southeast Asia isn't such a bad idea after all. We could ask our stunningly attractive wives that question, or maybe we'll think about the answer. We'll ponticate the answer to that while we're having an inexpensive, delicious meal on the beach. I don't know diddly about diddly. Davo says we actually are in season. It's just a quiet day, I guess. We're lucky, but it's Friday. Getting ready to call it a night. It's Friday night, 7:45 to 8 at night. I'm old. But before this, you would have seen the photos. Davo and I had a great time having just like a snack. I had a tuna salad, literally just some tuna with no dressing. I said yek nam salad, which means separate the dressing, and I ended up not eating any of it because the vegetables are so fresh here. It's incredible. It really is. Anyways, it was great. Loved it. We found a gourmet coffee bean place on the way down. That was really cool. Day 2, it's Saturday. With Davo, hang on. Bengandai, Leote. Got my coffee from another shop, which was shockingly just as pretty with just as nice of a view. Decided I wouldn't go through there and not at least support them and buy coffee. They're really nice, all in Thai, a lot of fun. Another typical day retired in Thailand. It's working for me. So, Doni, this table. Samra is for Thai Lu, take picture, Tao Na only. Always helps to read. And a quick back update while I'm at it. My back is doing fantastic. It's totally different. I have to relearn using all my muscles in my lower body. I don't understand it. I can't explain it. I'm going to relearn that. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. If you've watched this far, please consider hitting like and subscribe.